Good morning, friend. Today we have to discuss the JEE Main 2026. That the first topic in the syllabus of JEE Main is about the some basic concept of the chemistry. This topic we have to study it in the standard 11, and also it is a part of the syllabus of JEE Main exam. Okay, then we have to start the chapter number first, that is the some basic concept of the chemistry. And in this topic we have to discuss firstly that the introduction, and in this introduction part we have to discuss the some basic concept of the chemistry. Okay, so look at him, the study the structure, composition, property of matter, and also changes in the states, and it also changes in the state under the different condition of pressure and the temperature. Okay, so look at him, this is the introduction, and that introduction it is says that you have to study the structure. Okay, in this topic we have to study the structure, and also we have to study the composition of the elements and atom, and also we have to study the property of matters. Okay, and also changes in the state under the different condition of pressure and temperature. That means it is says that your pressure and temperature it will be a change, therefore your state also be a change, your state also be a change, and that the state is the solid, liquid and the gas. Okay, therefore your pressure is increases, temperature is increases, and then your states also changes. Okay, so therefore this is the introduction of the some basic concept of the chemistry, and therefore in this chapter we have to study only structures, compositions, property of matter, and the changes in state under the different condition of pressure and temperature. Okay, so therefore this is the introduction part of this some basic concept of the chemistry. Next point we have to discuss that the laws of chemical combination. Okay, the firstly we have to discuss the first law, that is the law of conservation of mass. Law of conservation of mass. In this law of conservation of mass we have to discuss the statement or definition of the law of conservation of mass. Firstly you have to know about that the chemical change total mass remains constant, that mass before the reaction always equal to mass after the reaction. That means it is says that ki law of conservation of mass, it's a chemically changes, it's a chemically changes, but it's a total mass remain constant. Constant means constant, constant means constant. Okay, after the chemical change its a total mass remains constant. That means mass before the reaction is always equal to the mass after the reaction. Okay, before the reaction mass is equal to the mass after the reaction. It becomes says that your product and the reactant it's a mass it will be a equal, it will be a equal. Okay, to look at him we have to discuss the example. The firstly we have to take the H2 gas, and therefore its a number of mole is 1 plus 1 half of O2 gas, and its a number of mole is half mole, and we have to product is the H2O, it is a present in liquid, it is a present in liquid state. Okay, and it's about the 1 moles. Okay, so then we have to calculate that the mass before the reaction, mass before the reaction is equal to the number of moles of H2 multiplied by the mass of H2 plus number of moles of O2, number of moles of O2 multiplied by the mass of O2. Okay, so therefore the number of moles of H2 is 1 multiplied by the number of moles of H2, mass of H2 is equal to 2. Okay, 1 multiplied by 2 plus half of multiplied by the 32, that the 32 is the mass of the O2, and therefore your answer will be 80 grams. Okay, and this is the mass before the reaction, mass before the reaction, this is the mass of reactant. Then secondly we have to discuss the mass after the reaction, mass after the reaction. Therefore the one product is formed, that is a H2O, and therefore its a number of mole is 1, number of mole is 1, and then its a mass of H2O is 18. Therefore 1 multiplied by 80 is equal to the 18 grams, is equal to काय असणार 18 gram. Therefore that point it is says that ki after the chemical changes, it's a mass before the reaction, and after the reaction it becomes the equal, and therefore this is the law of conservation of mass, law of conservation of mass. And it's another definition, it is says that ki mass neither be created nor to be